Hello, my true crime lovelies. How are you? I'm on a roll. I do have on clothing, by the way. It's a little dress under here. I want to show you guys the video of Sarah getting arrested. She made a big brouhaha in the hearing on Friday, the 9th, about she was never charged with domestic violence. Oh, yes, she was charged. She was never taken to court to trial, but she was definitely charged. Yeah, let's go into it. I want to give a shout out to, I think it's Reality. Let me just look at the website so I don't. I'll link it below because now I have Transparent Tea is the name of the channel, and also Short King Reacts SKR because I think I saw it on his channel and here. Anyway, thanks to all these people, we get to be in somebody else's business. Okay. So, oh wait, let me give you a little bit of backstory. So this is from 2018, July 25th of 2018. Both Sarah and George were arrested. George was arrested on a misdemeanor battery dating violence, and Sarah was arrested on a felony. And I think you can have felony misdemeanors, but hers was a level 3 felony because she was charged with aggravated battery by strangulation dating violence. Her story was that her and George got home from the bar. They had had some argument about a light and something else, like a lighting the cigarette or borrowing a cigarette. I can just see her like after he took her lighter, flirting with this other person. I just could see it all. I'm not justifying anybody's behavior. I'm just, imagining it, visualizing it in my mind. And they got home and got into an argument. Now she says he was still mad. And so he kicked her with the butt of his heel. And I think she said her right eye. So from the bar to the kicking, you have this piece of bread and this piece of bread, and in the middle, you kind of have like a shit sandwich because what? And then he said he was going up the stairs to go to bed. She jumped on him so he's going up, she's behind him. She jumped on him and put her hands around his neck, right? Like, and he couldn't breathe. And so in response, he kicked her. He lifted up his foot and kicked her like a mule kick backwards, right? And that's what hit her in the eye because his breathing was restricted. So it's not the first time that he couldn't breathe or had trouble breathing while in the company of Miss Boone. So yeah, the police were called out. It was like 1:52 in the morning. At that time, she says they had been dating for a year and a half. So this was July of 2018. So a year would have been July of 2017, and then the half would have got us to like January, February of 2017. They had been living together for 1 year and 2 months. So they moved in together like 3 months after meeting. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, so let's just get into the video of where this is going down. The first few seconds don't have audio. They're coming up to her place. There she is. This part doesn't have audio yet. You said she's like very blonde, like bleach blonde. She's giving me like little surfer girl. Maybe Bridget Fonda in whatever movie that was, the Quentin Tarantino.
Together for a year and a half, and he's going through a whole bunch of shit. Pardon me for saying that.
No. Go ahead.
Pardon me for saying that, but like, oh man, he let loose on my ass tonight, and I'm not having it.
Okay.
Right. I got kicked in the face. Okay. Kicked in the face.
That you know of, there's no guns,
no,
anything in there.
Okay. No. I know, baby. You guys are doing your job.
All right,
no.
Sarah here.
Yeah. When do you call the police, baby? And she doesn't. I'm not justifying her getting kicked.
What's his name?
George.
George. All right.
Let me stop it for 1 second. Hold on. I have it sped up too. So she says there's nothing for you guys to be afraid of. So why are they here then if there's nothing to be afraid of? Or is it because they have guns? If there's nothing to be afraid of, why don't we just go to bed? Instigator. Little Miss Instigator has got something up her sleeves. But yeah, she's like, I'm not having any of it. Clearly, she's been drinking, and she's from Georgia. So at first I was like, is she like culturally appropriating some black folks? But she's from Georgia, so her like the baby and all that, I feel like it's genuine, but she's kind of putting it on for them, if that makes sense. When she was like, I ain't having none of it or whatever, like I think that's just her natural, like letting herself loose and not how do you say code? Not talking in code.
I swear to God, I'm done with that dude. He beat the fuck out of me tonight. And I'm done with it. I have to go to work tomorrow.
What's up, George?
So she had a
You
job.
want to talk to us? Go inside. Talk to you inside.
You see my eye?
I do see your eye. Okay, tell me how it all went down from beginning to.
Yes, my love.
Okay.
Okay, so
My love.
we were having a really good day, and we went across the street to Muldoon's. And
We were having a good day.
Fine and dandy, and because I talked to another guy because he left, came in there, and I got so mad, because I asked for a cigarette from another guy because he took my license, my debit card, and everything. Cigarettes, everything. Took everything.
Okay.
So I asked someone for a cigarette, and it happened to be a guy. So he walked in and got super pissed because I asked for a cigarette from another guy. I came home. Mind you, my car is across the street still.
Okay.
You didn't need your car, ma'am. You did not need your car.
So you get home. You go inside.
Oh, man.
Let's keep this story going.
Okay, elaborate. So you open the door. What happens from there?
I'm a whore.
He starts calling you names? Okay.
When I say ragdoll, do you know what that is?
I know what a ragdoll is.
Oh, man. I was ragdolled.
Okay, but I need you.
In the face.
Okay, I need you to elaborate. Like, you walk into the house. Did you
What
start
is
arguing? You started
ragdoll,
calling you
y'all?
names.
Like
You
he's
said
flopping her around?
I walked out. I
'Cause
walked
he's
in and I walked
1 inch
back.
taller
I
than
just
she
want to smoke a
is.
cigarette and just go to sleep.
10 pounds
literally
lighter.
I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm gonna go to sleep.
And then as you're making your way to the back, what happened?
I got caught on the stairwell.
You got caught on the stairwell. So he caught you on the stairwell. And what did he get in front of you? Started confronting you, telling you anything? What happened?
It should be fresh in your mind what happened.
I need you to tell me exactly what
She's
happened.
always vague. That's how you know she's
I
lying.
don't want him to get in trouble, but fucking tired of being beaten up.
Okay. I understand. I'm trying to help you out, but
I know
you
you are.
I need you to elaborate a little bit. So
She
in the
sounds like
stairwell,
she's auditioning for Grease.
Dragged me down the stairs.
As Rizzo.
I went upstairs, tried getting in the bed. I just want to go to sleep. I didn't make it to the bed. He caught me in the upstairs.
like in the hallway.
Beating the fuck up. That's all I can say.
Okay, what do you mean? Like I see
No
your eye.
details.
You said he kicked you in the eye.
That's what they say. That's what they thought.
Were you on the floor when he kicked you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how did you get to the floor?
Yeah, tell the story.
Did he push you? Did he pull you? How?
Normally what I do is, because he does it so often, I just go to the floor. So I'm pretty sure I don't really recollect. I went to the ground.
So she's struggling here to tell this part because if she's saying she was upstairs and getting in the bed, how did she get kicked in the face, in the eye, right? So his story is more consistent with what's going on. He's ascending the stairs. She's behind him, strangling him, and then he kicks her to set himself free. But so now she's realizing that. So she was telling the backstory about, I always go to the floor. Like, don't talk about what you always do. Let's talk about this moment. But she's, when they give too much information, they're lying, right? So she's like, I always go to the floor. So this time I got to the floor, like all these pauses. She's trying to think it through and she's drunk. However, I'm going to say she's probably a high-functioning drunk or a high-functioning liar, one or the other. But yeah, so she is now putting herself on the floor, so it makes sense that his foot came in contact with the eye, because she's not going to say, I started this, right? I strangled him and he was defending himself, because then that would just be too wrong. It's not making it right.
Okay, and then that's when he.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't mind. So you went down to the ground.
Yes, that's what I do.
Did he kicked you with which? Do you recall which foot?
Right.
Right foot. Okay.
Heel.
His heel. Okay. And you say you've been together
I'm a
for.
whore. Because I asked for a cigarette. Because he left my ass in my car across the street.
Okay. You said you've been together for about a year?
And a half.
A year and a half.
Like, yes.
Okay. Live together, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
I just recently went through a divorce. He's been there with me. He knows all the story, blah, blah, blah. But
I know. I'm just trying to.
This sucks. And I have to go to work tomorrow.
Do you want the fire department to come out check your eye?
Baby.
No? Okay. Okay.
No,
Do you want to
baby.
press charges? You can smoke your cigarette if you want.
Can I talk to you, though?
You're talking to me by myself.
I don't want to be taken. Please put the finger up the police.
So you don't want to press charges? Okay. Do you want to fill out any paperwork? Do a statement?
Hold on.
No? Okay. Smoke.
I'm going to rewind that and make myself small. She wants to put the fear of the police in him. She doesn't want to press charges. She wants to put the fear of police in him. Like, if you don't do what I say, right, I'm going to call the police on you. And I'm just going to say it, even though he's listed as a white male on all his reports, because I think, whatever, he's still a person of color, clearly. And she's a white woman with blue eyes. The tears of a white woman have sent many a man to prison. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong, but she's weaponizing this, right? Otherwise, why would she say put the fear of God or put the fear of the police? Not even the fear of God, the fear of the police in him. So the next time when she says, I'm going to call the police, he's going to acquiesce. Like, she's training him, right? Early in the relation, relatively early. I don't know why he moved in with her. So let me just see if I can go back by looking at the.
I know. I'm just trying to.
This sucks.
And I have to go to work tomorrow. Okay, now I'm gonna make myself tiny. I can just do this so you guys can see the full.
I have to go to work tomorrow.
Do you want the fire department to come out check your eye?
Baby.
No? Okay. Do you want to press charges? You can smoke your cigarette if you want.
Can I talk to you, though?
You're talking to me by myself.
I don't want to be taken. Please put the finger up the police.
So you don't want to press charges? Okay. Do you want to fill out any paperwork? Do a statement? No? Okay. Smoke your cigarette? Sit down, smoke your cigarette.
I don't want to
Sit down. How many times they did that last time?
You guys have actually been out here twice now. Look at this shit. He's putting this my shit all the time.
Did this happen today?
Yes.
So a year and a half into the relationship,
Yeah,
this is the third time the police have come out.
Yesterday.
I get it. Sit down. Smoke your cigarette.
Sit down.
Do you
Sit
think-
down.
no,
I don't want you to pass out.
Do you have an ID with you?
Remember the
Is
other
it in the
cop.
house? Okay. We'll go find it
I know
later.
my number if you want it.
Oh, that's perfect. Go for it. First name is spelled S-A-R-A-H. Do you have a middle name?
Catherine. K-A-T-H-R-Y-N.
Catherine.
K-A-T-H-R-Y-N. R-Y-N. Okay. What's your last name?
Boone. B-O-O-N-E.
Date of birth?
Like Boone's Farm.
I get it.
Don't
Making up
even know if
state
that's how
line,
it's spelled.
Do you have a telephone number?
407
407
716
716
8684.
8684. Email address?
SKP
SKP underscore
1-800.
1-800.
Oh, P. What's her maiden name?
Sorry.
No, that's cool.
Sarah Catherine.
I get it. Sit down, smoke your cigarette, try to relax a little bit. I'm going to take pictures of you in a little bit. All right.
Whew.
Thank you.
No problem.
It's the drama for me, y'all. So we got 3 cops out here.
Good side. Am I going to spend the whole night over there? When it comes to, have a seat. We'll talk. When it comes to domestic related stuff, man, you'll probably sit in there for a day. Okay. Yeah,
Look
I'm
how
not gonna
little
sit
he
here. I'm not gonna
is.
lie to you. All right. You're gonna probably sit in there for a day, maybe 2. All right. One week, possibly. It's all up to the judge. All right. This the thing is that the reason why they do that, man, because when it's domestic related, All right, y'all are dating. This is still dating violence, still domestic violence. Yeah. Okay, they got to make sure they keep y'all separated long enough to where nobody's gonna come home and kill each other. You know, I know that might not be your intention. That's the majority of the domestic violence and dating violence, battery calls that we deal with. That never happens. But there's always that one out of many that will do.
And he ended up being that one
maybe a day or two.
out of many.
Okay. All right, you understand
that got killed.
All right, just keep being cooperative, all right? Yes, sir. All right. So you want your phone?
Yes. Make sure you guys lock the back door, man.
We got you. Don't worry. We'll take care of that.
I think he's worried about the dogs.
Is it George or is it Jorge? Jorge. All right.
George.
Hey, man, I'll call you by your name. Well, you want George? Okay, I'll call you George.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
So there we know, once and for all, he wants to be called George. The way he said it, like sheepishly, he seems like such a sweet person.
Hey, Sarah, you mind putting
all this
down
other
the cigarette so I can take a few other pictures?
Jorge is what his mother called him.
Face my car that way. The car is that way. Hands behind your back.
For what?
For battery domestic?
Me?
Both of you.
Me. Her voice is different here too.
Battery domestic violence?
It's higher now.
You two hitting each other. Doesn't go down like that.
No.
All right.
Maybe because she hasn't been smoking for like 4 years now. Almost 4.5.
I have a white female secured. You don't have anything that's gonna poke me, stick me, cut me. Okay. Put your chest on that flag and stay there for me.
This is for real?
This is for real.
Yes, ma'am.
I already explained you. Chest on flag.
Chest on flag. Backfired. Cried wolf. Can put the fear of police in you.
I should probably not be together, but that's not my business. So stuff like this happens.
True words.
Why am I in trouble?
Spread your feet. Spread your feet apart.
Why am I in trouble though?
Because of the marks he has all on his neck and the inconsistencies of the story.
Okay. I can't.
Okay, step back a little bit.
Fighting back. So from all of the arrests that I have been studying, this is the only time I think George actually said she attacked me.
No, because everybody that goes in my car gets checked, no matter who you are.
No. I mean, like, seriously, like, I literally just started my job a week ago.
Go ahead, sit down for me.
So
Sarah?
July
I am literally just
2018,
starting my job.
she started her job a week ago, and we know she didn't have a job in 2019.
The phone's over there?
It's in your front seat.
Okay, thank you.
Because Brian said it was 2 years. So maybe she had that job for a week, got arrested, and they fired her. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to read the affidavit for you. On July 25th, 2018 at 01:52 hours, so in the morning, DS Zito responded to 4748 France Lane, which it's really France Court, but whatever. In reference to a male kicked a female in the eye. I later determined this to be an aggravated battery by strangulation and battery case, both being dating violence. So aggravated battery by strangulation and battery. Upon my arrival, I spoke to Sarah Catherine Boone, defendant 1, victim 2. So they're calling her the aggressor, right? If she's the defendant 1. Sarah verbally stated that she was at an unknown bar earlier in the evening when she asked an unknown male for a cigarette. Her boyfriend, George Torres Jr., defendant 2, victim 1, of 1.5 years, became upset when she was talking to another male and left the bar. They both went back to their residence and continued verbally arguing. Sarah was dragged upstairs by George, and she was kicked her in the right eye using his right heel. Sarah was unable to describe how she fell to the ground, and or how she was dragged upstairs by George. Sarah refused medical treatment. Sarah refused to write a statement and or sign any dating violence paperwork. After I spoke to Sarah, I spoke to George. George verbally stated they were both at their residence, verbally arguing and have been consuming alcohol. Have, not had, so it's ongoing. They have been dating for 1.5 years and residing together for 1.2 years. So 3 months after they met, they moved in together. They didn't even know each other. George attempted to go upstairs to avoid Sarah. While George was walking upstairs, Sarah reached toward George's throat using both of her hands. Sarah placed both of her hands around George's throat and applied pressure to the extent that George was having a difficult time breathing. George was sitting on the steps and started kicking toward Sarah in an attempt to get off of him. Oh, he was sitting. For some reason, I thought he was going up. So he was sitting, she bent over and choked him. I'm having a hard time visualizing. And started kicking towards Sarah in an attempt to get her off of him. George believes he might have kicked Sarah in her face, but was not sure. George believed that if he did not kick Sarah off of him, she would have made him incapacitated due to being strangled. George refused medical treatment. George also refused to write a statement or sign any dating violence paperwork. Both Sarah and George stated they have been dating for approximately 1 year and 6 months and residing together for approximately 1 year and 2 months. The left side of, so they knew each other for 4 months. Is that right? I think so. Okay. The left side of George's neck had red markings and small abrasions that is consistent with being strangled. Sarah's right eye is bruised and swollen from receiving an impact. Both George and Sarah allowed D.S. Ramirez Delgado to take pictures of their injuries. D.S. Ramirez Delgado later uploaded the pictures to DataWorks. Both Sarah and George received a victim's right booklet with name and case number, along with a photo injunction referral. Due to conflicting statements and injuries on both Sarah and George, I was unable to determine who the primary aggressor was. I placed both George and Sarah under lawful arrest and search. George was placed into the back of my patrol car, and Sarah was placed into the back of D.S. Ramirez Delgado's patrol car. So that is the female that put her back there. I informed both Sarah and George the charges that are being placed against them, which they stated they understood. Due to both parties refusing to write statements or signing any domestic violence documents, I was unable to complete a victim's request of confidentiality form, authorization for release of confidential information form, and written statements. Both parties stated they don't want to testify and or prosecute against each other. Both Sarah and George were transported to the Orange County Booking and Receiving Center, BRC. George was booked and charged for battery, dating violence. Sarah was booked and charged for aggravated battery by strangulation, dating violence. Both Sarah and George stated they do not own any firearms. My body-worn camera was activated. So that, where we go. That was interesting. Then I was just being nosy in other people's business, as I want to do. How else am I going to have 2 cents if I don't know all the business? Okay, so then I looked at the cash appearance record. So somebody bonded Sarah out. Here's her cash appearance. I'm going to blow this up. So here's Sarah's picture. The payer's address is 4311 Mandy Court, which is Sarah's old home, right? So all clues are pointing to Brian Boone being the one to check this out. Oh, it says it right here, depositor Brian Boone. I couldn't see that earlier. I just saw the BB in the address. I was like, that must be him, but there it is in black and white. So he bonded her out for $250. He wrote a check and she got out Wednesday, July 25th. So it was later that day, right? Because they were arrested in the wee hours on a Wednesday. So they were out pissy drunk arguing on a Tuesday night. And she had to go to work the next day, but she's outside at 2:00 in the morning. Anyway, so Brian came and bonded her out. I don't know. I couldn't find this on George's page under his name. So I don't know if he got bonded out. I'm not sure what happened. Like I said, I couldn't find it. So July 25th. So a month later. Oh, no, that was their arrest date. On August 29th. So a month and 2 days later. Battery by strangulation, dating violence comes now the state of Florida by and through the undersigned assistant state attorney, and states that from the investigation which has been made, it is the opinion of the writer that this case is not suitable for prosecution. Number 2, this action is taken to clear the records and to release subject's bond, if any, has been posted responsive to the above charges. If in custody, defendant should be released, provided there are no other charges or holds against her. And then that's someone from the state attorney's office, Mrs. Stephanie Amanda Colcott. And the state attorney for the 9th Judicial District is Aramis D. Ayala. Sorry, Aramis, if I said your name wrong. So, yeah, that was interesting, right? So that was what Sarah was up in arms about when she was talking about to Deputy Cheech yesterday. Did he look like Cheech from Cheech and Chong? Was that it is, she wasn't charged, but she was charged. It just, the charges ended up being dropped for both of them. And that is also the arrest that the detectives knew about during their third interrogation of Sarah, right? Because they had the one on the scene. They had the second one in, oh my God, Chelsea is her first name, I believe, but I can't think of the female detective, right? When she had that in the car, I think Scott was there. And then the third one, when she was actually down at their offices, headquarters, whatever. And she was like, the only reason she got arrested is because her story was different than his. No, because you lied, ma'am, and because you attacked him. That is the reason you were arrested. So we'll see. I'm wondering if she's going to open the door. What do you think on that? Remember when Darrell Brooks opened the door in his trial and they were able to bring in that he was a Pedialyte, a PDF? Because I can't remember how he opened the door, but then he got all upset. And then the prosecution was like, he dated her at this time and da-da-da-da. And then Brooks was like, did she tell you she gave me a fake ID? And nobody cares, Darrell. Nobody cares. So, yeah. I feel like Sarah's going to open the door on that based on just how she behaved with that. I don't know though. I know the judge said he got somebody to help her with her clothing. You think someone also will help her with her like trial presentation, like make her welcoming, like how she wanted Patricia Cashman to be? She's got to calm down because she is coming off gruff. And that short haircut and those sagging jowls are not helping. But you see in this other video, that's why I said I think she was just like this cute bop around her. You know, she has the bleach blonde hair and like she just gives like little surfer girl vibes. Like I said, like Bridget Fonda. So I think she was just the good time gal, right? And things went horribly wrong. And she's like very insecure, very bossy. Even the presentation of their personalities in that video, and they both have been drinking, she clearly seems like the dominant one. You know, I don't know. He could have been pretending. I'm not going to say he wasn't, but it just in the, there's a couple more videos I'll play for you later, but it just, it's giving that she's the aggressor in all of these, that she's the abuser. And then she blames him for everything. Well, she blames everybody. She should get an award for gaslighting. But you know what I mean? Like, look what you made me do and why I was defending myself and put the fear of the cops in him. You know, like she is always teaching lessons. And I feel like poor George was her unwilling student. And she was always trying to teach him a lesson. So, I mean, based on everything we know. So I think if she shows all of that to the jury, I mean, she's convicted. I say they're probably out in an hour between that and the video, do you know? Yeah. George's family will finally get justice. I also was thinking today about Lucas because George played with Lucas a lot, right? They had like the basketball hoop outside that you saw in the front. They would play baseball. The neighbors mentioned, I always saw the child out front with George playing. And so did she even consider how her son felt about the murder? Do you know what I mean? Like, and she's on the phone bickering with her son about not respecting her. And this was good, bad, or indifferent. Someone who had been a part of his life for at least, I guess, 3.5 years, you know? And then he was gone because his mother put him in a suitcase, right? Well, let me say that right. So who had bonded with the boyfriend, and then the boyfriend was gone because the woman who is his paramour, as they say in domestic violence cases, put the paramour in a suitcase, the little boy's friend. And so, like, has he had time to process this? I don't trust that Brian sent him to therapy. I mean, Brian was laughing about being abused by Sarah when at the scene when, you know, oh, she would push me, but, you know, I knew how to walk away. I think George didn't know how to walk away. Like, that makes it okay. Like, she shouldn't be putting her hands on anybody, period. And if somebody's putting their hands on you, I hope you have the courage to walk away. I say that as a woman who once had hands put upon me. And so just like, that is no laughing matter, no matter what. Get away as fast as you can. Don't ever think, oh, they love me so much, they're not gonna. You just don't know where rage will lead you, like blind rage. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Thanks for hanging out with me. Toodles. I'll see you guys later. Let me know what you think down below.